Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson. Today I'm bringing you guys some Infinite Warfare. This time I'm bringing you guys a video of me actually playing against a pro Call of Duty player. As you guys can see by the title, I was actually playing against Goonjar. Now, this is a pretty funny gameplay, and the reason for this is the backstory was kind of cool because I was actually playing with an in real life friend. He was actually over at my house, and he doesn't really play Call of Duty anymore. He used to, and I decided I would go ahead and show him some Infinite Warfare just to show him sort of how it plays. And throughout, I would say maybe a minute or two into the game, I realized that I was playing against someone with the name Goonjar. I don't really pay much attention to him, but he is a pretty established pro Call of Duty player, and I thought that that could possibly be him. And after this game, I searched it up and it was in fact him, so that was pretty cool. I managed to play against a pro player, which is actually, I do believe, maybe my first time or one of my first times playing against a pro Call of Duty player. I do know I ran into Scump in Black Ops 3, but he backed out of the lobby, and other than that, I've never really had an experience at playing against anyone at this high of a level, which is pretty cool. So as I was saying in the beginning, I was actually playing with my in real life friend. You guys will see that my playstyle is as it normally is. I'm still moving the same as I always do, just because that's just kind of how my playstyle is. I wasn't really trying particularly hard or anything like that, just because I didn't even realize he was in here until about a minute or two in. And I didn't have my headset on or my Elgato recording or anything like that. This is actually recorded off my PS4. I'm not sure if you guys can tell or not. The quality may not be as good, and that's obviously because of the fact that, as I said, my Elgato wasn't actually turned on. I actually wish I had it on just for this specific time, just because of the fact that I was playing against a pro Call of Duty player, but still the PS4 managed to come in and capture it, so that's pretty nice. Apologies if it isn't really, up to par as my usual videos are. I know most of my videos are in pretty solid quality, and PS4 just seems to have that sort of weird recording where it just doesn't look as clean or as crisp, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. But I think overall this gameplay and this video itself is pretty cool, just because you don't often really see players on my level playing against people on Goonjar's level, such as Pubstompers versus pro players, or maybe even just YouTubers versus pro players, maybe not even specifically Pubstompers, because there are a lot of Pubstompers who aren't YouTubers, who are, better than certain YouTubers, and then there are a lot of YouTubers who aren't necessarily Pubstompers, but they're still good at Call of Duty, and they're good at the game overall. So I think you guys get my point. This is pretty cool. There have been some instances where some YouTubers have played against other pro players. If you guys have seen Swag XBL's videos, he's played against a couple of pro players in the past on Black Ops 3 and on Infinite Warfare, which is pretty cool. And as I said, this is my first ever experience. Obviously, there wasn't really much to prove here, just because this was just a casual public match TEM. I'm not even sure if he was really trying that much. Most of the part, pro players don't even play pubs for that much. Mainly when they are playing public matches, at least if they don't casually play for a YouTube video or something like that. If you guys see Scump's videos, obviously he plays public matches a decent amount on Black Ops 3 and on Infinite Warfare, because he actually, cares about his YouTube channel. He uploads to YouTube consistently here and there. But the majority of the pro players in Call of Duty usually are spending their time scrimming or playing, Money 8s or something of the sort to just improve at Call of Duty to, win tournaments and things of the sort. So usually when you run into a pro player in pubs on Call of Duty, usually they're just kind of waiting for a scrim to start or something like that. So that's maybe what Goonjar was doing. I'm not entirely sure, but it was pretty cool, the fact that I managed to get to play against someone on, his skill level. And I wanted to say that it's actually pretty cool that a Pubstomper can actually sort of compete with a pro player. I know that this was just only one single game. It's not like this was like, a wager or something like that where I managed to play against him, where both of us were trying really hard, both of our teams, or anything like that. Excuse me for sort of stuttering it there, but this was still pretty cool. And there are a lot of players now who play on UMG and GB who actually have really high ranks, who actually used to be Pubstompers. So I can kind of say that Pubstompers are sort of on a similar skill level in some sort of way compared to pro Call of Duty players, in the way that they have sort of the same gun skill. I feel like most Pubstompers and quite a few pro players, I mean, for the exception such as maybe Optic Formal, I would say that he has definitely a better shot than most pub players. Most pro players actually do have better shots than, I would say, public match players for the most part, but it's not like an extremely, huge amount or anything like that, just because of the fact that there are a lot of public match players who do actually play quite a bit, probably just as much as pro players here and there if you're a leaderboard grinder or something of the sort. So, as I was saying, the fact that a public match player can compete with a pro player, of course, in more of a pub setting is pretty cool, just because, as I was saying, this is just sort of a casual TDM. This isn't like a wager or a GB or a scrim or anything like that, just because of the fact that, definitely pro players do have an advantage on that level when it comes to scrims and things of the sort, just because obviously they don't really spend their time playing public matches, whereas with someone like myself, I obviously have the advantage in a public match. So this was overall a really nice gameplay to watch, and sort of something different and unique. Obviously, I'm sorry that this isn't a live commentary or anything like that. I sort of wish it was, but as I was saying, I was just sort of playing with an in real life friend, just casually showing him the game, and I managed to run into a pro player, which was really cool. You guys will see that the game actually comes down to the wire. I do finish with a pretty solid scoreline, and so does he, and I think we barely won the game, maybe by just a couple of kills or something like that, and I do believe throughout the entirety of the game, he was using, I do believe, the E-Rad and the K-Bar, something like that, and I was just kind of casually playing with the NV4. And that's basically that for the gameplay. I thought that this was sort of unique and something different. I'm sorry if this commentary topic was sort of, I don't know, sloppy or something like that. I'm actually really tired right now. I've been up basically all night, so apologies if this commentary isn't really up to par or anything of the sort. But that's basically going to do it for the video overall. I really hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like, and I am out. Peace.